Hello, ladies and gentle ladies. Welcome back to another Industria planning stream. Hello, Super Z. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, today we're going to continue planning Industria. Now, I do have to mention what happened at the end of the last stream. For anyone curious what the hell happened. Basically, my PC just died. It just decided to jump off a cliff and the entire thing just froze. So yeah, I don't know exactly why that happened, to be honest. I think it's something to do with my graphics card. Hopefully it's not a major issue. But yeah, let me try and kind of possibly resolve some of that real quick. Just closing some things that might be causing it. There we go. Okay, that should all be fine. Yeah, as I say, I don't really know what happened. But hopefully it's fine this time. So yeah, we will see. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to continue planning Industria today, specifically the rubber process, but we're kind of redoing the rubber process, so it's a little bit different than how it was, and that is because I've basically, I don't want to say, okay, wait, this music's way too loud. It's actually driving me crazy. Is this turn it down for you guys, by the way? It does, doesn't it? That's turning it down for you guys. Is it? Okay, it shouldn't be. I think it might have been. Yeah, basically what I've done, I've basically like vibe planned it, kind of. So as you guys saw, we had that giant process diagram for rubber, but I kind of went through it off stream and it didn't make sense. There were some pretty major flaws in some of it. So what I've basically done is, first of all, I went through and figured out, okay, what's wrong. So I took those parts and I figured out like roughly what they need to be instead. And then what I've just been doing, honestly, like the past hour, is I've been trying to get ChatGPT to like remake the diagram, but with the parts that should be correct. Honestly, it's not good at making diagrams, so it isn't really working. So we might have to just do that manually. But this is what it's made. So yeah, I asked it to also put it into one big line rather than like 10 million separate lines, because I was going crazy with the separate lines. It was just hard to navigate. But yeah, we're gonna have to validate this, because obviously when AI's had a go at something, usually doesn't do a great job, so we'll have to go through and briefly validate it anyways. Just at like a quick glance though, it does look correct. You should probably ping on your server. That is true. Let me do that. And boom. Okay, that is Discord done. I've lost OBS. There we go. So yeah, let's kind of go through this and figure out what we want from this. I'm gonna go through it backwards, I think. The problem with going through it like in order is that there isn't really an order, right? Because it doesn't necessarily work like that. Hello, Lone Wolf. Welcome. I hate YouTube's translation feature. Can I turn that off? Because it thinks you said ha 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 ha. So all it shows me is ha 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 unless I hover over your message and see that you said hi 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 hi. Like, what the fuck is this, YouTube? I don't even know if I can turn it off. Can I turn it off? Wait, I'm gonna have a quick Google because like that is actually so jarring. Here you go, you can. Oh, only on mobile. Oh no. Wait, I think I can change it in the stream setting, apparently. I can't. It says you're meant to be able to, but I can't. That's just not. Oh, unless... Might be a way. About translation on it. Oh? Customization. Aha! Live chat translation. There we go. Boom, that's off. So now I should no longer see it as I think it's just for the streamer. I don't know why. But it seems to be for some reason. So yeah, okay. Yeah. So I mean, maybe we can go in order here, actually. Yeah. Okay, it has fucked around something, though, is what I'm noticing. One issue I see immediately, for example, is that it has just yoinked the rope method of rubber, which isn't ideal. Now I should mention, I was kind of going through this off stream with Lone Wolf and some other people on the Discord, is that I might not even do rubber like this. So I think it's great and all having this for rubber. I think it's cool. I like having big processing lines, but two issues really. Number one is that rubber isn't useful, which is kind of crazy because RL rubber is very useful, but like in reality you would never really need to automate rubber. Like, it's just not one of those things that you automate because it's not a precursor to something else. It would only be used for making things. Now, does that mean you wouldn't need rubber? No, but it means you just wouldn't need to craft rubber in bulk, right? And obviously the entire point of automating something is that you do craft it in bulk, right? So I just need to kind of consider, is there any point having this entire process? And then number two, so point number two is that I might just replace this entire massive process with a process for synthetic rubber, and then just have like normal rubber just be the rubber tree tap, latex, and then whatever it was before, not all this, not rope drying, and then washing, and then drying, and or something like that. This new process is throwing me off because this isn't. It's got rid of that original one, which is annoying. So yeah, that's kind of what needs to be considered. Is it worth even having this process in the first place, or do we just go down the synthetic rubber route? Did you play the mod pack yet? No. Because to be honest, I don't I don't want to play modded Minecraft. So no, I have not. So anyways, that's what we need to decide. Okay, also I need to move OBS. I actually am going crazy having it on my left one. It's not normal for me. There we go. Better. So yeah, I mean, in theory, this process, for example, that it's got right here, this should be like correct, chemically correct, and it should also make sense in the context of Industria. So having a steam reformer makes sense. Having synthesis gas, and that doesn't necessarily make a huge amount of sense. Also, yeah, some of these lines are very confusing because they overlap each other, but like copper up there. Yeah, I mean, some of this just needs to be cleaned up a little bit because obviously it hasn't done a very good job at that. Like, that would be a good start. Just aligning some of these things would be a great start. Like that. That's not aligned, I know. But that's aligned, right? But yeah, like, am I wasting my time doing this? Is the question, right? Because if I am just going to replace this with synthetic rubber, then it would be a waste of time. So I don't know. How are you? I am not bad. I'm quite hot though. Because it's what, like 25 right now? And it's supposedly 22 outside, but that means it's probably like 26 in. So it's quite hot. Yeah, I have my fan on, but to be honest, it's not doing anything. It's dying, I think. It's also like just too hot for it to do. So yeah, maybe I just get rid of this. I mean, what I have kind of trying to see what it has said. Because as I say, if we go with synthetic rubber, that process would be massive. And then it's a question of like, why would you ever choose to do this one over synthetic rubber? Answer is you probably wouldn't. But you have to consider that really the benefit of this process is not necessarily that you have to do all of this. It's that you would already be doing all of this for different things, right? Like most of this processing line, like literally most of it, is to achieve sulfuric acid, right? And you would be making that anyways, regardless of this existing. You would be making sulfuric acid. So kind of the benefit of this processing line is that you would probably already have sulfuric acid. So you're instead looking at sodium carbonate plus sulfuric acid gives us sodium bisulfate. And then that's basically the entire line other than formic acid. So formic acid is the the outlier, because this is what you would need. But this is very simple, right? This is just natural gas, steam, and copper, and water. That's it. Copper's the catalyst as well. So copper isn't even necessarily... I mean, it would be consumed, but it's not being consumed in quite the same way. And like, once again, you would already probably have methanol and maybe carbon monoxide as well. So I think actually, yes. Now that I have said that, I'm like, this makes sense. Now, the only problem I have with what ChatGPT has done here, when I asked it to kind of clean it up, is it's decided to just make machines for each specific thing, which I don't think is going to work. Like, for example, I mean, it hasn't done that in a lot of it, but a lot of it also has. So, like, methanol synthesis reactor is too specific, right? Is this the new one, actually? 1 second. Because I've got, like, 10 different versions. But, oh, right, I've asked it to do different things. Yeah. This is the latest one. The other ones are just junk. Yeah, as I said, overall this is okay. I'm not a fan of like this. Methanol synthesis reactor. Gas separator. Carbonylation reactor. Like hydrolysis reactor. These just aren't things. Like, they're not going to be used in other processes, right? Even when you've got like Haber-Bosch process, well, that's probably not how you pronounce that, but like the Haber-Bosch reactor, I don't think you do that. I need to look at what I need to do, actually. Let's look at the original. So this is the original, right? So let's try and match what I had in the original. Try and find out what machines I had in the original. And use that to figure out what I could possibly replace those with. So let's start at the top. So steam reformer. If I come in here and look for steam reformer, I do have that somewhere, but I don't think I called it... Oh, I have steam reformation. Right, I see. Yes. Well, that's fine. But here, we've just put synthesis gas. I don't know what synthesis gas is. Is that actually a thing? Oh, syngas. I didn't know that's what syngas stood for. I thought that was just the name of it. I see. I don't like it being called synthesis gas. I can't lie. I prefer the idea of just calling this syngas because that's more well known, I feel like. At least to me, that's more well known. So that's fine. Then that goes in the gas separator. So what is a gas separator is the next question then. So what did I have for gas separator? Well, in the original one, I just didn't have that. Only problem I have with this is that the gas separator just gives carbon monoxide. Oh, and hydrogen. I see. I see. I didn't see that part because it has done it weirdly. But if we do something like that, that makes so much more sense. That's much easier to read. Let's kind of like, hopefully. But I'm trying to align these two, which is jarring. Okay, in that case, we'll just do it like this. That's fine. Bit weird, but it's fine. We can actually even do that. Can we do that? Yes, there you go. That's better. Ideally, we do this as well. But we can't because then that's an issue. Oh, but that's fine because that needs to go that way anyway. So actually, that needs to go back that way. That needs to go back this way. There we go. That's much cleaner. Okay, methyl formate has the same problem. And that's not... There you go. That's now... that's not... That's just... that's because... yeah, I'm more inclined to just put water like... Otherwise that's weird. These ones we can just move across like this. So methanol byproduct and formic acid down like that. That's much easier to read. Okay, so let's then in that case try and like clean some of this up then. Now that we've done that. So gas separator. So what I'm gonna ask it is what is a gas separator and actually or have you just, because I feel like that's not there isn't like a thing called a gas separator, I don't imagine. I feel like that's very generic, right? I see. So you got two options for gas separation. You have a cryogenic gas separation unit, and then you have a pressure swing absorber. So really a cryogenic gas separation unit. Go. And then a methanol synthesis reactor. So what is that? So that's to get us methanol from syngas and copper, a copper cathode. Right. Because in the original, if we look at the original real quick, in order to get methanol, that just came straight out of steam reformation or gasification, which, yes, admittedly doesn't make much sense, because that is skipping like a bunch of steps. So, okay. Same, let's ask it again. Same question about the methanol synthesis reactor. But once again, I don't think that's really a thing. Okay. It is kind of a thing, actually. It says it is a thing. But a better name for it would be a fixed bed reactor. Ideally, we should also have crude methanol and put it in a distillation column, but we're not going to do that. Because there's no... That's basically just purification, right? And that comes back to the entire argument we were having last stream, where, like, we just don't really want... We just don't really want that. Okay, I've actually found a pretty good diagram here. So, I mean, it's kind of complicated, but yeah, basically, like, in the real world, it goes through a bunch of columns first. It goes through a bunch of distillation columns before it ever reaches that, you know, purified methanol stage. But, like, I don't care, so we're not gonna do that. I concur with a fixed bed reactor, though I'm gonna Google it first and check that is an actual thing. Yes, it is. Okay, in that case, fixed bed reactor goes there. That's much better. Steam reformer, that is a thing, I'm pretty sure. Yes. Yes, that is a thing. That is like an actual... admittedly... yeah, it's fine. So what's this one? So carbon... I've never heard of this term before. Carbonylation? So it's where carbon monoxide is introduced and inserted into an organic or inorganic molecule. Okay. Oh, I see. So it's for creating, like, carboxylic acids, esters, aldehydes, like formaldehydes. Okay, that's fine then. So I think I'm gonna ask just in case. Does sense? And that gives us methyl formate. Let me Google that. Yeah, so methyl formate is fine. Okay. Oh, apparently a carbonylation reactor isn't really correct, actually. Because that's not the name of the machine. That's just like what the machine does. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but I think calling everything like a process followed by reactor is a little bit boring. And like requires you to remember all these silly process names, right? I don't think that's necessary in like a long-term solution. So we can, I mean, let me have a look at what like these are actually called. Yeah, like it's a thing, but it's not. Like you can even buy one on Alibaba. It's just kind of crazy. Alibaba is crazy. Okay. ChatGPT just says call it a pressurized reactor. I honestly... I do agree that's probably better. Yeah, let's just call it a pressurized reactor because the benefit of that is that we can reuse another machine. Like that's much more of a reusable machine, even if that doesn't necessarily make the most sense in some circumstances, but I think that's fine. If that makes sense, that's fine. So then we get methyl formate, then we got hydrolysis reactor. So hydrolysis reactor. I know hydrolysis is once again a process, so not great. It reckons call it a stirred tank reactor. I hate that. I hate it. Is it, can it come up with a better name for that? Let's have a look. Okay, so let's just call it a hydrolyzer. That's actually a better name. That is a better name. That's much more like modded Minecraft name, right? And actually that is... I'm just looking at what Google shows, but that is like actually a thing. Like they are actually called that. Can I show everything on here? Yes, like these are hydrolyzers. It is an actual like machine. That's fine. Hydrolyzer it is. That gives us formic acid plus methanol mixture. I don't like that. Yeah, I have a problem with that. Because this is very much a thing that would only exist as a intermediary thing, right? Let's see if it has a better solution to that, because that's a very intermediary. I'm gonna say it has no real purpose because it is just an intermediary here. It exists solely for the sake of being an intermediary. Oh, this says here that this methanol actually could also come back basically round to here, right? How do I make that dotted? I just make that dot. That's 1 point. That just 0.3. There you go. So then that kind of can loop background, right? That's fine. Like as well, like hydrogen here, this could loop background to here as well, of course. That's kind of the benefit of these byproducts, is that usually obviously they can just loop background into something. So they're very often not just like lost byproduct. Which is good because I don't like lost byproduct. So what it recommends is that I just get rid of this and just have an arrow directly between the machines, but that makes no sense. It thinks you can just arrow between the machines, but obviously that doesn't make sense. It says I should just rename it to crude formic acid. Hello, Aleatorio. Welcome to the stream. You know what? In this case, I think it's fine. I'm not a fan of it, but I understand that like there isn't really another way to do this. Because if you want to get that methanol byproduct, you have to have this step. So I suppose you could claim that the purpose of this crude formic acid is to allow for that methanol byproduct and then for that to go back into the process, right? So it does actually have a benefit of being an intermediary so that you can get that back. Did you have any Quimic? What's Quimic degree? It's kind of complex. No, I don't have any chemistry or anything like that. I just like chemistry. I just enjoy chemistry. I can't lie though. I think in the game this won't be as complex as it looks. I mean it will, but like it won't be as complex as other mods, to be honest. Like if you compared this to something like GregTech, it's not as complex. I mean, for making rubber, it is more complex than GregTech, but that's just because GregTech's a bit weird, and sometimes complicates things, sometimes doesn't. I don't particularly why. But like people like complex processing lines, right? You know, people like to see, oh, this is the massive automated line I have for producing rubber, right? And later down the line, you know, maybe rubber will have usages. I have ideas of things later down the line that might need rubber, and a lot of rubber. So, it won't necessarily go to waste. I don't. But anyways, that gets you distillation unit into formic acid. Formic acid then just goes into the coagulation tank. Not a fan of that. Let's see, not a huge fan of unless you can validate it be whatever. Hello Lumi the Hedgehog, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I don't think coagulation tank makes a huge amount of sense because that's not necessarily going to be used in other processes, right? Also, I'm gonna move this along a little bit so it's centered. I wonder if maybe we could just, because fundamentally coagulation is just agitation. At least in this case it would just be agitation, right? You're agitating latex with formic acid and that gives you coagulated rubber. Therefore, since we already have an agitator, we can just say agitator. Boom, bada bing, right? Okay, fantastic. At that point, let's go through the sodium bisulfate. Because basically these are the two coagulants, right? We have formic acid, sodium bisulfate. Technically, different things in the process, but for the sake of simplification, they're going to serve the same purpose. So, sodium bisulfate. Okay, where do we start with this one? Okay. Yeah, once this is definitely one that looks more complex than it is because this is just how you get sulfuric acid, and sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate is going to be so common, and sulfuric acid is going to be so common as well. These are not really an issue, but regardless, let's go through this step anyways. So what do we have? So sodium chloride plus water, brine mixer brine. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. That doesn't make any sense. We're just gonna have brine. I mean, maybe, I suppose maybe. Because maybe you want to make brine, right? Maybe you don't want to have to go out and find brine. But you also could go out and find brine. Are there going to be lakes of sulfuric acid? Maybe. I have been trying to think about world gen. So like with brine, for example, brine's a good example here. We're gonna have like brine flats, I think. You can just make brine by heating up salt water. Yeah, I think that's basically what this is trying to imply with the brine mixer. But obviously, brine mixer doesn't make sense here. Okay. Yeah, I have a problem with the brine mixer because obviously that doesn't really make sense. So see, it can't really be a furnace though, can it? Because brine is obviously a liquid. I mean, so like, it's not really just heating it up though, is it? You are like actually mixing it. Maybe something like an evaporation tower from a mechanism. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I mean, could we not just use... Like, could we not just ditch the mixer, the brine part, and just boom, in a mixer gives you brine? I mean, why say brine mixer? Why have this whole evaporation nonsense or all of that? Just mix it, right? I think that's fine. I feel like that's fine. Although mixer, this is another thing about Industria, is that we do have a mixer. Like, it's literally called a mixer, but that is very generic. I don't know how long that's gonna last as like a term I can use. For now, though, I'm gonna say that is fine. And then let's move on to the next one then. So, okay, first of all, let's figure out what's going on with these arrows. So I'm very confused. So you are going down here. I see. So in that case, we can just do... want that to look right. Is that possible? Can I make that line up? No, we cannot. We cannot make that line up. Okay. Fair enough. What's this one? That's carbon dioxide. Can we not just move this to like there? I probably do have OCD here, because this is driving me crazy. I need this to be clean. Okay, there we go. There we go. I got it to line up. Okay. I don't like this one going in the side, though. If these two are going to go in the top, I also want carbon dioxide to go in the top. How can I do that without this being weird? Well, best way probably would be to take this, move it over here, and then just take this, and boom, bada bing, like that. Nice. Let's put that down the bottom though. It's not down the bottom. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Let me just move all of these. Oh, bump. Oh. Okay. That's fine. I kind of want this to go straight though. Maybe I do have OCD, gang. But like, I want that to go... not what I want. I need this to go straight. I need this to go, like... Oh, why is it doing that? Okay, just give me a second, chat. I need to fix this and then move on to validating it. That's really annoying. Why are you doing that? You know what? I'm just going to redraw this line. There we go. That's straight. Put that there. Put that there. This can then come back inwards, right? So it can be like over here. That's not centered, is it? That needs to go centered. Okay, but now that needs to come back down here. Lovely. Okay. Cool. That can come in a bit as well. Okay. So what do we have here? So limestone in a lime kiln. What's a lime kiln? Does anyone know what a lime kiln is? Is that a thing? Is that not just a kiln? Like, just a kiln, right? Well, you know what, actually, we could probably just use this for limestone. Well, yeah, of course. And does it give carbon dioxide? Yeah, carbon dioxide. No, it's carbon oxide. But it should be... Wait. Should it be carbon dioxide? Oh, wait. That's carbon oxide. Wait. It produces carbon dioxide and carbon oxide? Wait, this doesn't make... Oh, calcium oxide. I was like, what? Carbon oxide? That doesn't make any sense. Calcium oxide makes sense. I was so confused. Because limestone, like, everything was just completely lost in my head there. But no, that's fine. The problem, I guess, is that it gives off carbon dioxide here. And that, like, if I used a furnace, you wouldn't be able to get carbon dioxide. If I used the rotary kiln, you wouldn't be able to get carbon dioxide either. Because that doesn't have any way of outputting gas. I guess it could output gas. Or I make a dedicated kiln block, right? But like just like a... Well, I guess a lime kiln kind of makes sense, but a lime kiln really is just for limestone. Something with plasma? You mean something plasma? Okay, I think we can just... I'm just trying to think if we can reuse the rotary kiln. I could probably recode the rotary kiln so that it can output a gas as well. Like an optional output of a gas. Yeah, I think that's fine, right? So in that case, yes, let's just do rotary kiln. Because to be honest, the rotary kiln needs rewriting anyways. Basically from scratch, because it doesn't work anymore. So I can make that work. That's fine. Okay, lovely then. Next one is ammonia. Yeah, ammonia, we're going to have some problems here, like a harbor... how do you pronounce this? I've Googled this before, and I don't remember how you pronounce harbor bosch is what I want to say. Harbor bosch. I think so. Habber bosch. Like grabber, but habber. Habber bosch. Habber bosch. I don't like that. I prefer harbor bosch, but habber bosch, I guess. Sure, fine. Haber-Bosch reactor. That doesn't make sense, right? That needs to be called something else. Also, did we call the steam reformer the steam reformer, or did we change that? No, we kept that. It's fine. Air separation unit, we decided that doesn't make sense, right? That's just a... Wait, what was that in the original? Because that existed in the original. That was to go air... nitrogen. Alright, nitrogen. I think that existed in the original. Nitrogen to get ammonia. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is why I hate the original, because it's all over the place. Oh, no, I just decided nitrogen it just appears. It doesn't come from anywhere in the original. This is the kind of flaws I had with the original. Is like I didn't consider, oh, where does nitrogen come from? I just figured, oh, you have nitrogen. But no, you don't just have nitrogen. Air separation, you mean an air condensator? Well, no, because it's not a condensator. It's... I mean, it's more like distillation. Well, no, it's not distillation. But it's more like... Well, yeah, it is distillation. Although, you could just make this like a dedicated thing, because you would be doing air separation more than anything else, right? But like... I mean... First of all, air doesn't make sense. Like, air isn't a thing. Air is just... It happens magically in Minecraft terms, right? I think really what we want here is like... I think we can probably split this up, right? So instead of air to air separation unit, we go like air to air compressor, right? And then that gives you compressed air. Makes sense. And then we go from compressed air, so we need to have a step in the middle. Oh, shit. What the fuck is this? No idea. Okay, how can I like duplicate you? There you go. So this will give us compressed air. Okay. And then if we go into like a cryogenic cooler or something, which I feel like we would use elsewhere in the mod, so that's fine. Okay, now I can copy paste. I don't. Cryogenic. Right. Right, that's not lined up. Hello. We're cooling air to separate the mixture. Yes, but you can also use bacteria that can directly capture nitrogen. That sounds very complicated. I don't want to get into biochem. I can't lie. I mean, we'll have to probably at some point, but for now, biochem stays out of it. But biochem will stay out of it until it's needed. I don't think. I mean, like, how would you even, like, even if you have biochem, how would you get bacteria? Like, how do you How do you have a bacteria, like a specific bacteria that does something? How do you how you know? You grow it, but like from what? Gene edit? Okay. I'm not adding gene editing or anything like that. That would be very complicated. And that's way out of my wheelhouse as well. Okay, what do we get from a cryogenic cooler? I guess we get... What do we get from a cryogenic cooler? I guess we just get cryogenic air. Cold air. I don't know. I mean, it would be cool to have biochem. Don't get me wrong, guys, but it's just a lot of work for like debatable benefit. Especially bearing in mind, like, why would you choose to do that over something like this? You wouldn't. Like, you just wouldn't. Ever. So yeah. I'm trying to figure out what we call this. Like, do we just go with something like liquefied air? I feel like we just go liquefied air. Also, yeah, you will need to exist, but not soon. We'll come back to you. You need to go to there. That's been. What the fuck? That. Okay, no. Like, well, that doesn't even go to there anyways, right? So actually, that's fine. Because that's it. Go, and then we'll just like that. That's better. Cryogenic cooler. Is that evenly spaced? There you go. That's evenly spaced. Okay, and then we get liquefied. Get this evenly spaced as well, please. Nice. Lit F5. Have I spelled that right? Not complaining at me, so probably. Liquefied air. And then if we put that in like a distillation column, which we already have I actually don't know exactly what it's called right now, but we have a distillation thing. I'm trying to think what it's called. I don't think it's called a distillation column, but it is distillation something. But we can probably just call it a distillation column. Distillation column. Okay, and then that gives us big man nitrogen. Also giving us oxygen. Wow. And it would probably give us other things too, right? Because obviously air isn't just nitrogen and oxygen. But that's for another day. These are bugging me because they're not aligned. Which one isn't? It's just this one. There you go. And that looks kind of bad, but it's fine. Why are you not aligned? Wow. What is going on there? Not just... What the fuck? Why is it... Okay, why is it like this? Can I just... Oh, shit. Okay, well, I can just do that. How do I... Bro, how do I... Oh my god, I'm gonna lose it, guys. I'm trying to align these, and it's not friggin' happening. You know what? That'll do. Oh my god, now it's not aligned over here. I am actually gonna lose my shit. Why is it like this? Bro, just line up. Like, hello? But this one isn't even right, actually. That's why, isn't it? They're joining different things. Bro, just please. No, why? Oh my god. Why is it not lining up? Please, just line up. This is crazy. What is happening? Oh my god. He's done it, guys. He's done it. It's lined up. This is kind of annoying me, though. I don't like this. Let's move there. That and that. Okay. Then that's fine. It just needs to be above it, because otherwise that's going to drive you crazy. Okay, and then I'm going to put air above this, because otherwise that will also drive me. Okay, there we go, guys. Lovely. Lovely stuff. Okay. Where did we get to? Oh, yes. Other boss reactor. Doesn't make any sense. So let's see what it like. There isn't a harbor boss reactor, right? So what do I call this? What is it called in the real world? Wikipedia probably isn't going to tell me. Yeah, it's not going to tell me. Oh, apparently it's just called an ammonia converter. Apparently that's what it's called in the real world. And there isn't a replacement because it's specialized. Well, I prefer that. I once again, I don't really want people to have to know the processing name. So just calling it like ammonia converter. I can never spell converter. Is it ER or OR? OR makes more sense in my head, but I think it's actually ER, right? Is it? Oh, I've lost it. This again. Ammonia converter. Oh, it's ER, yes. Wow, I'm so good at spelling. Okay, bye-bye, lone wolf. Okay, fantastic, guys. We're almost there. We're almost there. I want to move this entire thing, though, because there's loads of space between this one and this one. I don't like that. So we are going to move this over. That isn't nice. I want this to move back here. No, not like that. Oh, I can do it like this. Is that aligned with that? Yeah, that's fine. Need to make sure that's centered. Okay. Also, these need to move down. Why is there so much space down here? We're getting there, guys. Don't worry. Oh, that's broken everything. Okay, we just need to... Aha! Got it. I got it. No fear. Okay. That's much better. Okay, lovely. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I need things to be aligned. Very important. Okay, carbonation tower. Doesn't make any sense. I actually kind of hate that these aren't aligned as well. I kind of want these to be like down here. So that like that's in line with that one, and then this is in line with that one. It's fine. That's not annoying me that much, but it is a little bit. I mean, I don't know, carbonation tower, I feel like once again this is like a very specialized thing. It kind of is just for this. Like, there isn't... Can we make sodas? No. Oh, I think this is called a distillation tower in Industria. And the reason I remembered that is because this is carbonation tower. And I was thinking of renaming this carbonation column, but I think tower is fine. Maybe. Column, tower. I mean, it's the same thing. CO2 plus water, fizzy water, aka carbonic acid. I mean, sure. Industrial sodas. You know, you say that as a joke, but if this mod were to pop off in some magical universe, that would definitely be a thing, considering the carbonation tower will exist. Like, someone would actually make that add-on. Like, I would genuinely not be surprised if that would happen. That would be kind of funny. But, yeah, or one of you guys would probably make more sense. Okay, so carbonation tower, that's fine. That gives us sodium carbonate and ammonium chloride. That's fine. I don't see a problem there. That goes in the calciner. That's fine as well. I don't have a problem with calling it a calciner. That gives us sodium carbonate and carbon dioxide and water. That's fine too. Okay, over here, I don't know what's going on over here. Oh my goodness, this is the sulfuric acid one. Oh. Sulfuric acid, hey. This one's the complicated one. So okay, first of all, what is this connected to? The roaster. Okay. Roaster, I don't know if I'm a fan of as a name. What is the pack gonna be like? I just joined. Well, first of all, I assume you mean mod, not pack. Second of all, it's a tech mod. My best exclamation okay, I can't speak. But my best explanation, I was going to say exclamation, but that doesn't make any sense. My best explanation is something in between GregTech, mechanism, and immersive engineering. Something in the middle. Like if you took all three of them and had a baby, that doesn't make any sense. Can't have baby with 3 people, but if you could have a baby with 3 people and you put them all together, that's basically what Industria will probably hopefully be. So yeah, but it's not going to be as Greggy as GregTech, but it will have aspects of GregTech, and to be honest, this is a perfect example of one of them aspects. Is this process right here. Although, to be fair, as I say, once again, this is mostly just sulfuric acid, which is the same as all the other ones, but yeah, almost as Greg as GregTech. Exactly. I'm glad you guys agree. So, okay, here we have. Okay, what's going on here? I don't remember this process. I can't lie. Ammonium metavanadate. Oh, that's to get vanadium pentoxide, which is the catalyst in the catalytic converter, not the one that goes in cars. Or technically it is the one that goes in cars, right? Because just a catalytic converter is a catalytic converter. Am I crazy, or is that not the same thing that goes in cars? We'll come back to that. I'm getting distracted. Air separation unit. That's not a thing we have, because that's this, right? So what are we getting from the air separation unit? Oxygen. In that case, oxygen will no longer be a byproduct, and we'll just bring that from up here down to here. Like that. And pick that out into there and get rid of you. Boom, bada bing. Okay, lovely. Okay, this is really messy. Okay, so here we have what's going on here. So we have vanadium ore, air, and sodium carbonate in the roaster. Don't like roaster. Let's try and figure out what a better name for the roaster is. To be fair, am I crazy, or is the roaster not just the rotary kiln? Message you sent doesn't appear in chat on stream. What did you say? Because I can't see anything either. Yeah, I can't see anything either. So I think it got blocked by YouTube. Not by me. So maybe it's just spamming flushed emoji. Why did I just see a bunch of flushed emoji reaction? Anyway. Sure, you DM me. And I'll have a look. I await your DM. So I'm not gonna sit here waiting for DM. Okay, so yeah, what did we say about the roaster? Oh yeah, we said oh, you have sent it. Okay, I see why that probably got blocked on you. But no. To answer your request. But yeah, I see why that probably got blocked on you. Because I don't think well, actually, I don't know why YouTube would have blocked that. He said 30, you should add estrogen to the mod, or estrogen if you're a weirdo. But estrogen. That was the request. But also, how the fuck do you make estrogen? I don't know how you do that. Is that just I don't know. Oh, by the way, why do we need air here? Doesn't need to be there, does it? Because obviously air is gonna be there. This can just be the rotary kiln. Fine. It's cursed? I can't believe I'm googling this. How to make estrogen. Okay, Google won't tell me because apparently... Wait, you can't legally make it. Oh. I see. So yeah, it's not gonna tell me how to make it. Apparently it requires quote-unquote specialized laboratory equipment and precise chemical synthesizing techniques. Oh, here you go. There's a paper on estrogen synthesis. Oh, never mind. That's natural synthesis. Oh. Found it. I found a paper on how you make estrogen. I honestly can't be asked to read it all though. Oh, apparently it comes from plants. There's a plant that makes something that does it. Create? Of course that's a thing. You know, why am I not surprised, actually? Of course that's a thing. Why wouldn't that be a thing? So what does this mod do then? They have a wiki? Of course they have a wiki. I'm curious. I want to know how they do it. Using estrogen. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Am I allowed to show this on stream? I don't know. If it's not legal, this is for educational purposes, guys. Wait. Yes. Although you can't do it. So I don't know why you would need to be educated on how to do it. But it's for educational purposes. Horse urine. Is that a thing? I feel like that's not right. Does it actually start like that? I don't think so. Historically, yes, I see. Okay. Urine filtering. And then shake it. That's it? Wait, that's it? So you just filter horse urine and then shake? It doesn't make any sense. What? I'm sorry, but there's no way it's that simple in real life to make it. You centrifuge the filtered stuff? That still feels very... fair enough, I guess. Anyways, no, I'm not adding that. If someone wants to make it as an add-on mod, feel free. But yes, I'm not adding that. Okay, let's clean this up. So, vanadium ore in the rotary here. Boom, bada bing. Gives us sodium vanadate, or I don't know how you meant to say that. Whatever. Who cares? Not just horse urine. IRL would be a pregnant. Okay, that's. I guess that makes more sense. I was gonna say because surely not all horses have estrogen in their urine. Well, the mod could have always made it so horses get pregnant if they wanted to be realistic. But hey, can't have nice things. Lovely. That's fine. Where are you coming from? What are you from? Oh, you're from the chemical reactor? Yeah, I think so, but that's weird because I see. That's weird because of that. Sure, that's fine. Okay, what's going on here? And also, why are you not... Can you go there? There we go. And you go there. Oops. Okay, let me actually just put that like... that's not... Yeah, I was going to say that's not even. I need that to be even. Yeah, like that. But then this one apparently also isn't. That needs to be like that. Then that can be like that. Is that even? I think so. Maybe. Maybe not. But I think it's fine. So this has a leaching tank. I don't know about a leaching tank. I don't necessarily think that makes sense. Could we not just... use the agitator? I feel like that's fine. agitator rather than overcomplicating things. Okay, why are you no longer attached? Oh, we're gonna go through this again. Okay, no. It fixed itself, guys, don't worry. Okay, sodium vandate, whatever. Solution, that's not even. Actually, I don't think any of these are even. That's fine. I'll fix it some other time, probably. Okay, what do we have going on here? So, precipitate... Okay, let's try that again. Precipitation tank doesn't make sense either. Thinking, let's move these up here, right? Because we can. You, however, can go down. And then we'll fix things. So, in order to fix things, let's move these guys. All of these guys over here. That way, this one can directly link to that. It is a bit weird, though. I want that to be aligned. Can I align you? No. Apparently not. Whatever. Guess I'm not doing that then. Oh, that's better. I like that. Okay. And then this can just go out the middle here. Oh, it does have a byproduct, but can I maybe just put that like here? There we go. Okay, that's fine. Not a huge fan, but it's fine. Okay. NAV2. Yes, I think so. No. It's NA3V04. There you go. Yeah, that makes more sense because it's 8, so it's oxygen. Though I don't know how you would know that's 4 oxygen. Oh, because it's... Oh no, I don't know. I don't know how you'd know it's 4. Nor do I actually know how you'd know sodium is 3. Just by looking at that. I guess you wouldn't. But okay, anyways. What's going on here? So, oh yeah, precipitation tank. Doesn't make sense. Either. Well, maybe it does, but if we can have a better name. I think, once again, this can probably just be the agitator, right? Because really here we're just mixing the solution and ammonium chloride. So this is just agitator. This here, ammonium metavanadate. I don't know what this is. This is one where I let ChatGPT do some research for me and didn't look at it. So let's figure out what it has come up with here and if this is actually a real thing. First of all, it is a real thing. So question then, what actually is it? Because I have never heard of it. Oh yeah. No, it seems legit. Selective precipitation. Which is the purification of vanadium. and then it's roasted to give vanadium pentoxide, which is what we have. Though we've got calcination. I don't know if that's correct. Wikipedia says you roast it. But I actually don't know if I can trust Wikipedia, admittedly. Because Wikipedia isn't necessarily the best viable source. Let me just Google directly ammonium meta. Okay, I need to know how you pronounce vanadate. Vanadate. Yeah. Vanadate. 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 Really? Vanadate. Vanadate. Oh, like vanadate. Like vanadate. Like not like vanad. Yeah, okay, that makes I get it. I'm piecing words together. Vanadate. That makes sense. So ammonium metavanadate. That actually makes so much. Yeah, so I need to know who vanadate. Okay, vanadate is kind of gonna throw me off on actually typing it, but not vanadate. How do you say vanadium? But it's not vanadium. It's vanadium. Vanadium. That's a weird one. I don't like vanadium. Vanadate is fine, but vanadium is weird. Not a fan of that. Pentoxide. Oh yeah. Wikipedia was wrong though. Wikipedia said roasting, but oh no, it kind of is roasting, but it is actually called calcination in this case. Because it's verbal decomposition. So both would be correct. But since we already have a calciner, we'll keep the calciner, yeah. That's fine. I don't know what the hell's going on here, by the way. Sulfur, oxygen, sulfur burner. What the fuck is a sulfur burner? That's not a thing. I mean, I'm just trying to think, what would you call a machine that you just burn something? A combustion furnace, I guess, because it's just combustion, right? It's not like burner doesn't even make sense. You're not, I mean, you are burning it, but it's combustion effectively. So it's just a combustion furnace. Like what are we doing? So sulfur. Oh, I forgot oxygen is attached to the distillation. That's very confusing. That goes there. Let's align these so I don't go crazy. And you, absolute piece of shit. Can I do... Oh. Can I align them like that? There we go. I don't like how they're different thicknesses. Yeah, like, why is this 1.3 and not just 1? Weirdo. Don't know why. burner, roaster, combustion. Yeah, I mean, they're all basically the same thing, but like, eh. Okay, this actually, I want to move. Huh? Why did you do that? Literally zero need for you to do. Okay, so we agreed sulfur burner doesn't make sense, so now what the fuck has happened? What the hell? Okay, there we go. So sulfur burner, we agreed, is a combustion furnace. I'd use a roaster to roast. Sure. The add-ons of Industria are gonna go crazy. Okay. Let's bring this to the right and then hopefully I can align oxygen like that. Lovely. And then I can get sulfur dioxide like that. Sulfur dioxide's a bit of a mess though, because the calciner produces ammonia and water. I guess I can move the catalytic converter over here. That way I have space for the ammonia and water. If I move the sulfur dioxide up, that can be a reasonable spacing. And then fine. Let's look into the catalytic converter. So what goes into the catalytic converter first of all? So we have sulfur dioxide and oxygen, right? These are the things that go into the catalytic converter here. I'm thinking, I kind of want to move oxygen like that. And then it's just more clear what's coming out of there. This is admittedly a bit weird still. Because like that one's going out of there, but this one's going into there. Yeah, I mean this isn't I don't think it's exactly the same thing as what you have in a car exhaust. Though I think it's fundamentally doing the same thing, right? It's still like, okay, pass a gas over a catalyst, but yeah, I think calling it a catalytic converter would be too confusing. So therefore, let's rename it to like I don't know. What's the real name? What are they called in actual industrial thing? apparently just converters, which I don't like. Oh, they can be called vanadium vanadium pentoxide converters. I don't like that either. Contact converter. There you go. That works. Contact converter. That means if I ever add cars in the future, that's not going to cause problem. That is not guaranteeing I'm adding cars in, by the way. Not leaked, because it might not happen. Okay, so what's going on here? So you can go like that. That gets us the sulfur trioxide with water in an absorption tower. Once again, doesn't make sense, I don't think. Also, not a fan of this. How can I clean that one up? I guess I can just reduce the space here. So like if I do 1, 2, 1, 2. That's not straight until there. I have to move that up to what, like there. Oh, that's fine. No, that's fine. Okay, there you go. So then that goes in the contact converter. Okay, fantastic. I want to bring this, though, ideally over here. Is that fine? Ooh, it's a bit weird. But isn't the height meant to be... That's fine, right? The only problem is that now causes this. But if we just move that back. This is also a really... I'm not a huge fan of that, but that will do. Ideally, I guess I would move all of this like over here somewhere, but I can't be asked to do that. Absorption tower, yeah, I mean, it seems like that's just the best name for them. And that gets us sulfuric acid. Guys, we're almost there. Can you believe it? So at this point, we do sulfuric acid and sodium carbonate in what is down here as a chemical reactor, which I think is just an agitator. Now, the more I think about this, I've got agitator, but I've also got mixer. They're kind of the same thing. I don't really need both, do I? Is the only concern. Although, I guess it's not quite the same thing here. Like, this isn't really just an agitator. Because it's not just mixing them, right? Not quite what's happening here. I mean, it is, but it's also not. Though, I don't know. Do I really need to add a special machine just for this? No, I don't think so. Let's just call it that. There we go. It's like close enough to being realistic that like who cares? So that's fine. Okay, so that gets us sodium bisulfate, which we get back to the agitator again, and then here we can get coagulated rubber. We here have a washer. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm honestly thinking with the washer, maybe we just say you put it in a cauldron of water. You know? Although, the problem with that is it means I have to, like, modify the cauldron. And that just causes so many problems that I just don't know that's worth it. But I also don't really want a washer. I'm also thinking here. We could get rid of a step. So, like, wash rubber into dryer, we could just get rid of that. That's overkill, right? And just go straight to untreated rubber. Because I just don't see any point in complicating that part. Let's try and, like, there you go. Those are, like, good spacing. Spacing's a bit weird down here, but that's mostly because of the agitator, so that's fine actually. So now then we've got washer, untreated rubber, vulcanizer rubber. So then it's just washer and vulcanizer that we need to figure out names. So washer. Washer, I just can't think if there's... First of all, like, do we need a washer? Second of all, is there a better name for it if we do need it? Okay, apparently in real life it's called a crepping mill. And that gives you crepe rubber. But I'm just thinking adding a machine specifically, in this case, just to turn coagulated rubber to untreated rubber and then not to be used for anything else anywhere else in the mod doesn't make sense. So keeping it as a washer, as generic as that is probably of benefit here, because then it means that a washer can be used elsewhere in the mod if I want to have that, right? So I think that's fine. Washer to untreated rubber, which it should be dried, but who cares? In this case, we're just pretending it's dried magically. Then that goes in the vulcanizer, turned into rubber. So vulcanizer is one of those things that we also need to consider. I think the vulcanizer probably makes sense. I just don't know what you would replace that with otherwise. Hello Rat, welcome back. I think actually I remember looking at the original. I don't know what did I call this in I don't have it open anymore. 1 second. I'm going to open this. What did I call it in here? When you did... Oh, I just put vulcanization. But I actually think I remember what I called this from when I originally researched it. And I think it was the autoclave. And I remember that. Oh shit, don't tell me I've just lost everything I just did. Okay, it's fine. I thought I lost it for a second. Oh my god. It did save, luckily. Thank goodness. But yeah, I think it was the autoclave, and I remember that because I added an autoclave in 30 chemistry back in the day. And I planned to use that for rubber back in 30 chemistry. So I will probably just call it an autoclave. I mean, it doesn't like necessarily makes a huge amount of sense, but I think it's kind of is the closest thing. Oh. I'm way too tired. Okay. But we're done, guys. We're done. Can you believe it? How long did that take? How long have we been live for? 2 hours. It's not bad, I feel like. Go through this entire process, that's not bad. It's okay. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with all this. That's the process to get rubber. Now, we're not really done though. And that is because we are missing the default, the like easy process. Which is this part. So what do we have here? So we have rubber tree tap, latex. That's fine. Now, in the early game, you're not going to have an agitator. You're not going to have sodium bisulfate or formic acid. So, therefore, the alternative to this is a rope. So here you have 2 options, right? Let's so these are basically the 2 options. You can either use a rope to get regulated rubber, or don't move. I'll get nice and centered. Like that. There you go. So there you go. Those are the 2 options. So these are the 2 ways. So obviously, oh, also, why is there so much vertical space here, guys? There really doesn't need to be. Was that there before and I just completely missed it, or? There we go. That's better. That's much nicer, actually. That's great. Okay, so that's a rope, and then yeah, the rest is fine, like coagulated rubber, blah blah blah. Now also formic acid. There's another way to make formic acid, and that is Trying to figure out a way that I can do this that looks okay. There you go. So the other way to make formic acid is stung by bee holding glass bottle. So these are basically the two lines that you can have. I feel like we can probably collapse this a little bit more. 1 second. Let's pull this up. And then once that's pulled up, we can now pull all of this up. Maybe even actually all the way. If we just make that a straight line, then we can pull this up. Basically, so like that. Nice. All of this as well, we can pull up because there's loads of free space. All that free real estate. There we go. Something like that. And let's pull these down. Oh, that's being... Oh, it didn't like that. Okay, hello? Why are you doing that, actually? Does that mean they're not vertically aligned? You fuckers not vertically aligned? Or are they just being weird? What's going on here? Okay. I'm trying to see if I can fit it all on whilst making it all be readable, but like, no, not really. The only way maybe like if I pulled this all down, which I could do, like I could pull this all down to like there, to be honest. I do that anyway. I can't really do anything about this, so... You mean I'm crashing out? I'm just cleaning it up. I need it to be clean. Maybe I bring this down, because I can bring this down so that the distillation tower is horizontal with the nitrogen. That could work. Like, oh, did I not do that because that doesn't align? Because, oh my god. Okay. Is that why I didn't do that? What if I brought this all the way down like that? That's fine, right? That's fine. I don't hate that. I kind of... I mean, I could maybe even move this down, right? I could move this. So like, oh god, I didn't bring that with me. But like, if I take this, I can move all of this down, even to like here, right? Oh, I see, but the only problem is ammonia needs to go... Oh, but that's fine, because yeah, if I do like that, that's fine. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere, guys. That's basically readable. I'm not crashing out. I'm just fixing it. It's not crashing out, guys. Okay, there's still a lot of vertical space here. I kind of wish I made it horizontal more originally. It's fine. It's fine. This is good enough for me. I'm happy with this. Yeah, so that's fine. Now, only issue I have is with methanol. Because methanol could also be made with gasification, not just steam reformation. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm not gonna add a whole gasification thing in here. I mean, it's basically the same thing anyways, right? So that's fine. Other than that, I think everything is fine. I got rid of the whole Trona line, Trona and Necrolite. Those are gone. Activated charcoal, zeolite, that's gone. And I got rid of monoethanolamine as well. Okay, that's fine for now. I can do those in like separate processing lines, right? Those don't need to be included. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic, guys. So we have now mapped out the entire rubber process. So that was the easy part, because now I have to... Well, ideally I need to turn this into cards on the to-do board. I very much don't want it, because that's going to take a really long time. Oh no. Okay. The other issue is, like, I don't actually have any of this. I don't even have limestone. Just wait. Don't people consider Minecraft stone to be limestone? Isn't that like a thing? Oh, maybe not. I'm sure I remember that being a thing, but okay. I have to add limestone then. Wait, you're not lined up. Ah, almost got me. Almost got me, guys. That's also not centered. Can we center, please? Thank you. But now that's not lined up with that. Well, I'd like you to be lined up. Right, I'm just lining it up. Fine, don't worry about it. Okay, there you go. That's lined up with that as well. This is kind of annoying me, but it's fine. I can put that there. That's like basically lined up. Ooh, I don't like this. I don't like that at all. Is that okay? Yeah. Wait, is that lined up? I think so. What, is that lined up? No. I think that's fine. I need this to be perfect, guys. It is very important that everything is perfect. And why are you so far away from that? You just don't need to be so far away from that. Neither do you. Why are you so far away from that? Too? There you go. That's better. You're fine. There. That's fine. Okay. Kind of annoying, but I can't be asked to fix that, to be honest. Okay. I think I actually done this time. Okay, now where do we go from here, you ask? Well. I say next best thing to do. I think I'm going to make this a similar flowchart for aluminium. Even though we already have the aluminium in, like, process in the game, I want to have flowcharts for all of them, because I think that would just be so much easier to look at a flowchart and be like, oh, okay, it goes like this. Rather than currently figuring out what the hell aluminium does is a matter of going into the game, checking all the recipes and all that. So, I want to add a flowchart for aluminium as well, which shouldn't be too hard. I don't. So, okay. I'm gonna kind of copy the node style. Okay, so we start with bauxite ore. Bada bing. I'll save that later. Oh, actually, I need to save it now because otherwise I'm going to go insane if I lose it. So, actually, let me save this as well. Hello? What is happening right now? Being weird. It's fine. Fix that. I'm going to make a new folder in Industria called Riot. And I'm just going to do rubber. There you go. That's now rubber.draw.io. Now I'm going to move that to another monitor and save this one as aluminium. Lovely. Okay, so we start with bauxite. Okay. Now, why is this getting bigger already? I'm glad. It's fine. Well, actually, I don't want it to start like that because I want it to be... Oh. Okay, that's fine. Okay, whatever. Okay, bauxite. Then we go from bauxite to... or from bauxite ore to bauxite. So... Then we go from bauxite. Oh, can you? To... I'm already forgetting. Well, we need sodium hydroxide. It's the next thing. So, and that goes in the mixer. So, I'm going to add mixer. Hopefully I can just copy that. So... that gap's way too small. Need a bigger gap. That's good enough. That's not vertically aligned though. Why are you not? Oh, there you go. Okay, so bauxite will go in there. And then we'll also have sodium hydroxide. And we're also going to have... So I'm just going to put sodium hydroxide there. And I'm going to put water. The hell is this? What is going on here? Why is it doing that? What is happening? What is going on here? Okay, whatever. Sodium hydroxide, water. That's also not. That wine. Okay. Sodium hydroxide, water. That goes in the mixer, and that produces bauxite slurry. Now, I'm just doing this off the top of my head at the moment, but we're going to get to a point where I forget. So after bauxite slurry, that needs to go in the digester. I'm trying to think, does it go in the digester with anything? I don't think it does. I'm actually going to have a look, though. So that's resources. So we want generated data, Industria, recipe. Almost 10. That's fine. Digester, bauxite. Okay, it's just bauxite slurry. And that gives us dirty sodium aluminate. Okay, I wouldn't have got that off the top of my head. I can't lie. So it's actually a good job I looked. Okay, so that gives us dirty sodium aluminate. Why are you not lined up? Lovely. Yeah, stream goes on, exactly. So from dirty sodium aluminate, that goes into, I don't know, this is where I've already forgotten. Oh, I think it goes into the clarifier. Yes, it does. I kind of feel like that should just be the washer now. It's fine. We have the clarifier. For now, we'll keep it in the clarifier. But I might change that. I'm just going to represent what I currently have rather than mess around. Special. Do you know what one thing you did wrong in the stream? No? What did I do wrong? Okay, that's just rude. That's very rude, I'll have you know. I can't believe you would say such a... Oh shit. I just did a thing. What I done. No, don't worry guys. Okay, there you go. So that gives us not hydrogen, funnily enough. It gets us red mud, which I still don't think we actually have planned anything for red mud, but I'll come up with something. I turn it into clay or whatever. And then more importantly, that gets us on this side sodium aluminate. Red mud bricks? Maybe. Yes, possibly. Quite possibly. Very possibly. Okay, then I don't know where it goes from there, to be honest. I think it go... Wait, I'm trying to remember. Before I cheat and have a look. It goes... Sodium aluminate. So that's a fluid. So that must go into the... crystallizer. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. Nice. Okay. Fantastic. So then we go... You line up, please? Crystal. Hello, Alex. Welcome. You should be working. Why are you not working? Okay, so sodium aluminate goes in the crystallizer. And that also needs water. It went. I don't remember where it went last. Yeah, water. Lovely. And that output aluminum, aluminium if you're weird. Well, aluminium. Well, I don't know. I say both. I'm trying. Aluminium hydroxide. There we go. And the benefit of aluminium hydroxide is it can also be used as a catalyst in the crystallizer. Now, how do you type in these? There's a way to do that, right? You do that, like that. Lovely. That's the same as what I did in rubber, right? Yeah, but I did it lowercase, so I'm going to do it lowercase. And no one's allowed to say OCD. Okay, fantastic. You should do a modded playthrough with Industria when it's at a playable stage. Sure. Very far away from that, but sure. Oh, this also produces a byproduct, which I completely forgot about, but yes, it does. That's correct. Kind of complicates things because, like, where do I put this byproduct? I guess it has to go up here, but then that's kind of where I've been putting all the inputs, so that's kind of... I'm just gonna put it here. Boom, and I mean, I could put that in like that. Maybe I'll put it in there. That's less weird, I feel. I don't know, actually, that's really annoying me. I don't like that. I really don't like that. But it's fine. So this, yes, sodium carbonate. Like that. So then we go aluminium hydroxide, and I think that goes in the rotary kiln? Or... yeah. Gotta be the rotary kiln. Because then that produces alumina, I think. Let me see if I can find it, though. Yes, I was correct. So this goes in the rotary kiln. Boom. And that produces our lovely alumina. Okay. Once we have alumina, alumina needs to go in the electrolyzer. I'll find the electrolyzer recipe. Okay, the electrolyzer is a little bit of a complex one, but we can figure this out. So, in the electrolyzer, we have alumina. And then this is where things get complicated. So, we also have the cathode, the anode, and the electrolyte. So the electrolyte is cryolite. So okay, I'm gonna put. How am I gonna do this? I'm gonna put. Well, I'm gonna do this actually. So this will be the electrolyte, and then we will have the cathode. We'll have anode, cathode. So anode is carbon rod, and cathode knock. What am I doing? Coal, basically. Okay. So this is the anode. This is the electrolyte. I literally put in extra electrolyte. Oh my god. Cryolite. Cryolite is the electrolyte. And then this is the cathode. Okay. Electrolyte, anode, cathode. Lovely. So that's the electrolyzer. The electrolyzer produces molten aluminium or aluminum. It also produces a lovely doubly byproduct, which is the one and only carbon dioxide. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Okay. That doesn't need to be so far down. But where's this one? Is that in line with that one? There you go. That's fine. I mean, it's a bit weird over here, but okay. Cool. And then yeah, we don't have anything to go from molten aluminium to anything yet. But that's fine. Whatever. Right. So we have some problems, of course. Primarily that is with carbon rod, cryolite, and coal. And also sodium hydroxide, right? You need borax for the melting. Yeah, probably. Oh, for the melting? I mean, oh, I just got a low battery one. I don't know how long I have to plug them in before they die, but plug them in. Hole, which I cannot find the hole. Found the hole. Okay. Yeah, maybe borax. I don't know. I think I do remember reading that it needed borax, but I think I just said, that's not. But I don't know, like, honestly, anything past the rotary kiln is kind of work in progress anyways. So I can come back to that whenever and sort that out. But now we need to sort out the things that come first, aka sodium hydroxide. So that's where the question starts. How do you get sodium hydroxide? Let me see. All right, so sodium hydroxide is caustic soda. So IRL, sodium hydroxide comes from the chlor-alkali process, which is basically brine in electrolysis. Oh, that's very simple. It's just brine in electrolysis. And we have brine from the previous one, right? So hopefully I can just scoop that up from the previous one. So where's our brine process? That's just this. So you can just take that, come in here, right? Brine. And then what was it? It was electrolysis. So we need the electrolyzer. Okay. Get that to be... so brine goes in the electrolyzer, which produces our sodium hydroxide. Why are you not? Hello? What is this? Why is it like that? Hello? I just have to manually align them. Yes. That one's already fine. I'm fine, guys. Not a problem. Okay, so that gives us chlorine and hydrogen. So I'm going to take these. There you go. And like that, but grab this little guy. There you go, got him. You need to there. Boom. Why is that weird? Really no. Oh, probably because it's height. I just moved. That's fine. I just need to move all of this up. I can that. There you go. Lovely. So, oh yeah, not red mud though. This produces chlorine and hydrogen. Okay, so that's our sodium hydroxide then. Lovely. Then is the carbon rod. So I think the carbon rod, honestly, probably just a crafting recipe. I guess it depends how far I want to take that. I mean, should I have like, do you want to have like a press where you have to press like a carbon rod, like a rod mold, and then you have to put like, you know, carbon into that? Or should it just be like a 1, 2, 3 coal carbon rod? I guess this is where we need coke. Oh my god, I was wondering, hey, when do we get coal coke? This is where we need it. I've been thinking, like, the entire time I've been doing Industria, I'm like, I'm surprised I haven't needed that yet. But no, we need that. We need coal coke now. That's how we should get the carbon rod. That makes sense. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. So that means this is gonna be a bit more complex, but it's okay. So what we will do then is we will have, okay, well, no, let's start with one of these. Oh, don't do that. Okay, so we'll just put it like up here now. So this is going to be coal. Now coal is going to go into, therefore, the wonderful thing that everyone knows and loves, the coke oven. Why are you not aligned? Just rude, to be honest. Like, hello? Okay. Coke oven. Lovely. So then that goes in there. That will give us two things. Oh, can I align things? There you go. So that will give us coal coke, of course. Put that like that. And it will also give us I'm trying to make this symmetrical, but I'm realizing that's not so easy. I think that's symmetrical. So it'll give us coal coke, and then that will also give us the well, what's the other thing called? Oh, coal tar pitch is what it's called. Pitch. That. Now, usually, of course, that would be a byproduct, but in this case, it won't be a byproduct because the coal coke will need to go in a crusher. up again. Boom. And that will give us the powder. So coke powder. Not cocaine, guys. Don't get your hopes up. This will then need to be mixed. So we'll need to put that in a mixer. There, mixer. This needs to go in the middle. That. So you will go in the mixer, and you will go in the mixer. You are being weird. There you go. Okay, so that's the mixer, and this. Well, actually, let's this. Not gonna. Oh, there you go. Got it. Okay, so that goes in the mixer. Probably with water, though. Yeah, I think so. There. Okay, and that will give us another item. I'll line this up after. So that will give us carbon paste. Okay. Lovely. We need to move this up again, though. Up we go. Okay, once we have carbon paste, this is where things are uncertain. So obviously at some point I've kind of talked about this on the Discord. But we need some kind of like some kind of press, right? And like a way to have molds and all that stuff. Kind of Tinker's way. Exactly how I'm going to do that, I don't know. So for now, what I'm going to say is I'm just going to have like I'm just going to call it a hydraulic press. Because I don't have a better name for it. That will go in there, and that will be combined. Well, I'm gonna do this as this one with a rod mold, which I'm gonna do as a different color. How do I actually do that? I like that. I'll do that as purple or whatever. I know. I guess. There you go. Okay, lovely. So that and that will then give us the rod, right? So that will give us apparently according to the internet, you get a green carbon rod. And then you have to smelt that to get the actual carbon rod. So, fine, we'll do that. And this like tiny stuff. Green carbon rod. Once again, we need to move this entire thing up. Boom. Okay, that goes in a furnace. Furnace. Yeah. That goes in there to get the carbon rod. Lovely. That's our carbon rod. Okay. So from here, we need to do cryolite. Coal, by the way, should just be grey one. Or maybe not. Basic. Aligned with oh. That's no longer fine. That's gonna. Lovely. Okay, so that goes in there. That's not. There you go. And I would appreciate you aligning. Thank you. Alright, cool. So yeah, next is just cryolite then. I don't remember how you get cryolite, but I think I have this somewhere too. Okay. So I think we can find cryolite naturally. Let's make sure. Yeah, so you can. Yeah, apparently it's mostly found in Greenland, but that's pretty much used up. So industry relies on synthetic sodium aluminium fluoride. Apparently. Which is interesting. So roughly your IO starts going so slow when you add too much stuff. Does it? I don't know. I guess I haven't added much stuff yet, but like this one's all fine. How big do I have to go before it starts having problems? I guess I'll find out, because I mean eventually we're gonna have some big ones, but like this rubber one is perfectly fine. I have no problems there. And this one's fine. I'm not using the website. The website might be worse, because obviously then you're trying to run it on your browser, right? But I have this as an app, so I think it should be fine. But Hey, if it starts causing problems, I will come up with some solution to that. I don't know what that will be. I'll come up with something. Okay, so Cryolite's an interesting one because yeah, apparently, basically, used to be mined, but like doesn't really exist anymore. So you have to make it synthetically. But the problem with that is we need hydrofluoric acid, which is an interesting one. I mean, do we add natural cryolite or not? Apparently, it's literally only found in Greenland, and there is none left. Which is crazy, no? It's classed as an extinct mineral. That's crazy. Okay. So yeah, we need to make it synthetically. It just means we have to come up with a whole processing line for hydrofluoric acid, but it's fine, I guess. We may have a. Oh no, that should be. Okay, we can figure this out, guys. So, first of all, hydrofluoric acid, I think, is mostly just fluorite. So, what we need to start with then is fluorite. So, fluorite is a mineral. How do you spell fluorite? Put it like up here because I know this is going to be a long one. In fact, I'm going to put it like all the way up here. Okay. So we'll start with fluorite. Then we'll put that in the crusher. Boom, bada, bing. That will give us either crushed fluorite or fluorite powder. I don't know what I want to call that. Let's just call it powder. Fluorite powder. I want to call it that. No, let's call it crushed fluorite, because generally what I've been doing with like minerals is doing crushed mineral versus like here, since this isn't a mineral, it comes with powder. I think that makes sense. So then we need to combine that with sulfuric acid. Right. Okay. The reason I don't like that is because, if you guys remember, this is how we get sulfuric acid. So, in reality, I need to try and copy across that whole process somehow. Or should I just put in... I don't know whether to put in the entire process for sulfuric acid, or whether to just put sulfuric acid as a node and pretend it comes from somewhere. Probably could be the former. We can kind of clean this up though. So like agitator, don't need that. That goes in the agitator to get that. This therefore becomes a byproduct. CO2 water is a byproduct. Have just did one. That's unfortunate. Oh, actually, that's not a byproduct because that is used then. That's fine. Don't we already have sodium carbonate though? Can I imagine that? Fine. That goes rotary. I'm just checking that we need all of this. I think we do. Yeah. Okay. So we only really need the sulfuric acid. Huh? Figure out a way so we can have the sulfuric acid easily accessible. That's probably good enough. Well, actually, we can just do it vertical. Okay, lovely. So we move this up here. So like these are then in line with each other. Then what we can do is we can come from crushed fluorite and sulfuric acid. That needs to go in effectively a chemical reactor, which I don't remember. What did we decide about the chemical reactor? I think we just decided agitator. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. So we will just go data. Boom. Boom. Lovely. So those go in the agitator. That gets us hydrogen fluoride and calcium sulfate. So hydrogen fluoride, and where's the byproducts? Okay. So you go to there. I need this little guy so that we can go from there to there. And you will be, what was it? Calcium. I don't think we, at least not for this. So it lovely. That's byproducts. That's byproducts. That's byproduct. That's byproduct. Okay. Product by product. Yeah. Okay, good. Fantastic. So, then from hydrogen fluoride, we combine that with Big Man water. Did the copy again? Hello? Oh, weird. Okay, there it is. So yeah, we combine these two. I'm gonna have to check once again what I did with rubber for this. Okay, that's what I thought. So we have an absorption tower, which we will combine these in. Boom. Boom. Why these are being weird. On. There we go. And that gives us hydrofluoric acid. So hydrofluoric. Okay. What do we need that for? Cryolite. So where do we go from hydrofluoric acid? We combine that with aluminium hydroxide, which gives us aluminium fluoride. So we already have aluminium hydroxide here. So the question becomes, how do we get that to here? Probably, well, I don't know. Something like and then all we need to do is just bring that line down. That out. That. Okay. There we go. So that will go over there somewhere. I think that just happens in the mixer. Or wait, what did we use in rubber again? We didn't. No, we used the agitator, not the mixer. Once again, they're kind of interchangeable. Agitator and mixer. So I should probably very much not have both. Fuck. Yeah, this agitator. That. This. Put in there. Okay. So that goes in the agitator to get aluminium fluoride. Fluoride. And it also gives us a big man byproduct of water. That I also. Okay. Then from aluminium fluoride, we need we just combine that with the sodium. Which... Wait, when did we get sodium fluoride? Something? We got hydrogen fluoride here. So we got the hydrofluoric acid. Oh, we also need... Oh, so we need to combine the hydrofluoric acid with... This is where I messed it up. So we need to combine the hydrofluoric acid with the sodium hydroxide. Okay. We don't have sodium hydroxide, do we? No. Right. So this, in that case, is just like one thing. But there's also, in that case, another thing that we need to combine this with. Huh? Which will be... sodium hydroxide. So... Then it becomes the question... How do we get sodium hydroxide? Have we already done that? I swear we've already covered sodium hydroxide, no? Oh, over here. Here's sodium hydroxide. Oh, because those were used... Oh... Oh, I see. I was so confused. But yes, that's where we got sodium hydroxide. I was like, I'm sure we've already looked at sodium hydroxide. Yeah, it's just all the way over here. Right. There isn't an easy way to, like, line that up with this one. What I'm gonna have to do, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but I have to something like just like bring this line way up and around. How do you... I don't know how you then bring it down, I can't lie. But this needs to come basically into here. I guess what I can do is just up, right? That's a bit of a mess, but like... What choice do I have? Not much. So... Okay, so that's in the agitator gets us what? I've already forgotten. That gets us sodium fluoride. Okay. Sodium fluoride. Like that. And then we combine sodium fluoride and aluminium fluoride. To get cryolite. So we need a mixer. That. Wait, why are you doing? There we go. That gets us cryolite. Okay. This is crazy. This is a mad one. But we're done, right? Yeah, we are. So that's the entire aluminium processing line. Now, I should obviously mention that, you know, you don't have to do this whole processing line. You can just smelt bauxite ore and get aluminium ingot, or smelt bauxite and get aluminium. But obviously, that's not going to be as good getting a large amount of aluminium. It would be very inefficient. So yeah, I think that's basically aluminium. I don't think we're missing it. The only kind of thing we're missing here is molten aluminium into aluminium ingot. But if we're gonna do like casting and stuff, that will happen there. Hello Ilya, welcome. You've just joined after we finished all the chemistry. You could have been very useful here. Rather than me struggling to Google it all. But yeah. We basically just finished all of rubber and we finished aluminium. The next one is probably tin. Because tin? What's cassiterite? Is that tin? I'm thinking it's tin, but actually, is it silver? No, it is tin. Yeah. So tin is really the next one. But with incredibly unfortunate timing, Ilya, I am probably gonna have to end the stream here, because I have work tomorrow, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's all of those. I'm gonna commit these two diagrams to GitHub so that I don't lose them, because otherwise you never know what happens. Close these real quick. Apparently it's created these weird backup. Why it's done that. I'm not going to commit those. So we've got aluminium, rubber, and yeah, just... Wait, I actually kind of really don't want Copilot to do that. Add aluminium and rubber process diagram. Yeah, I'll probably stream again. Maybe tomorrow? I don't know. I might have, I think I actually might have to help my grandparents something tomorrow. So maybe not tomorrow, but if not, then Tuesday. And we'll start going through tin, I guess. Tin isn't that hard. Tin is like pretty easy, I think. It uses the... What's the process called? Benefication. That's it. Yeah, so 10 should be pretty easy. We'll do that one either tomorrow or Tuesday. And then... Yeah, after that, I mean, I don't know. These are outdated. Scott. After that, we'll probably do oil, actually, because oil is very important, and that we don't really have an oil process, or like not a proper one yet. So we need to do that. But yeah, I'm going to end the stream here. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all whenever I next stream. Good. Bye.